Hello guys, welcome to another session. So we are entering into the most decisive phase of your UPSC journey for the Prelims 2026. And I've seen that many aspirants basically underestimate this December, January, these 2 months. But these 2 months determine whether you're going to get that advantage or you're going to lose that advantage. See, for the last 5, 6 months, most of you have worked really hard consistently on mains preparation or the prelims mains integrated preparation. You have read the content, you have written the previous year questions and attempted answer writing, and you might have built a solid foundation now, right? But the question is, how do you convert this hard work into the final result, and how do you protect the lead that you already created, over a large section of aspirants? So what exactly I want to discuss in this session, in this 2 months especially, and rest of the 4 months also, what you need to do, I'll give you a clear strategic roadmap for the next few months, right? So that means when you're appearing for the prelims 2026, I want you to stand out from the crowd, right? This is what the idea of this session. Now, first, let's understand the current position. If you have genuinely studied for the last 5, 6 months, right, you have already ahead of at least 80 to 90% of the aspirants. This is something which I can guarantee you. But again, if you have genuinely studied like the way we discussed, right, integrated preparation, and most UPSC aspirant, they fall into the category of like part-time aspirants. They study only when the exam is near, and they wake up in Jan, they get that sudden motivation, or even some maybe in Feb also after the notification, and there is no structured strategy, and they rely mainly on the shortcuts, the guesswork, and the last minute panic. So this group will compete with you in prelims, and your job now is not to compete with the toppers, right? Your job is to defeat this large unstructured part-time group at this point of time. And the best news is that right now, when you're watching this video, they are sleeping and you're awake and you're watching this video, right? And this is a moment that you can actually widen the gap, right? So this is the time that you need to use to widen that gap between you and that people. Now the question is, did your mains preparation achieve its target, or still I need to spend some more time for your completion of mains, right? I always tell my students that before prelims, your mains foundation must reach to a particular benchmark. And what is the benchmark? 5 out of 7 mains papers should be completed before the prelims, right? So what are those papers? GS2, very important, GS3, GS4, and the optional one, optional 2. So these are the core and most important areas that you must be completed before the prelims. Now, why not GS1? Because history, geography, anyway, you have to prepare in depth in prelims also, and then comes to Indian society, that's something which I can deal easily later also. But again, completed doesn't mean simply reading, right? So now I don't want you to worry about that if you have not read this, but I'm talking to those who have genuinely worked on this for the 5 to 6 months. For rest of them, I'll give another different strategy. So when I say completed means you have read the full content, completed the syllabus, you have the consolidated notes, you have written the previous year questions, you have analyzed and you have written new expected questions on that areas that you have covered, and you have done the answer writing under time with your mentor, with evaluation and everything, and you feel confident that revising these papers in 1 week each, right? This is what I mean by you have done with this paper. So if you can revise GS2, GS3, GS4, or the optional in 1 week, right? If I am telling you come ready for the test of GS2 in 1 week, you should be able to do that. GS3, optional 1, optional 2. That means your preparation is consolidated. So if not December, at least you may, if you are very close to that, maybe you can take some more time. December may be used to consolidate. Now here you're not going to add new sources. Here you're not going to add new textbook or anything, just for consolidation. So that's what you'll be doing for December, right? Now December should be a transition month, right? From December onwards, your preparations will go into a transition phase or will begin to shift. So December is transition stage. January onwards, it's a full prelims mode. So this is the month, right? Rest of the 20 days, 20, 26 days, which is left, that is for consolidating your mains, which is so far you are completed many areas. but some areas left. If you feel like you need to consolidate, then this is the time, right? Jan onwards, it's full prelims mode. But again, a transition doesn't mean you stop mains and start only preparing for prelims suddenly. And that doesn't mean you should be panic, right? And that doesn't mean you need to add new material. When I'm talking about transition, that doesn't mean you need to change your entire strategy. When I talk about transition, what does that mean? Your day must be split, like 60% you'll be focusing on prelims, 40% for mains. December. And then from Jan onwards, 80% for your prelims and 20% for mains. And from Feb onwards, you'll be dedicating 100% for your prelims. So that's what I mean by transition. So which means in December, if you're studying, let's take that you're studying for 8 hours, then 5 hours for prelims and 2-3 hours consolidating mains, not to study new topics. So this mains time is only for completing the backlogs and consolidating your notes and organized revision, not for adding any new content or new coaching material or studying any new topic, right? So I hope this is very clear. This is your transition phase. You need to take it in that way. Now, some important behavioral truth. See, people study hardest only when the pressure rises, right? On December 31st, the exam feel very, far, right? Because you have till May. On Jan, maybe the exam feel close, right? So basically, there is nothing which is changing except the date, but the psychology changed drastically. December 31st, I'm in December. Exam is in May. But Jan, oh, I'm in Jan. And but if I'm talking about this, it's 31st December and 1st Jan, there is not much difference in terms of date, right? But still, the mindset, that's what the psychology. So that psychology changed drastically. And between Feb and March, lakhs of aspirants suddenly wake up. So that is a moment once the notification is out, and they rush into shortcuts, the crash courses, elimination gimmicks. Then you will see many new courses coming, elimination techniques, how to answer even without studying, with just by using elimination logic, random PDFs, telegram notes, and complete history in 2 hours, complete geography in 3 hours, complete all these fraud videos. You will end up wasting time. So this, like, part-time aspirant group, they will try to take your seat in the exam hall, but that's not actually going to work also. So if you continue your disciplined structured study, you will defeat them very easily, because you have that advantage. Your advantage is real, and your advantage is something which you have earned, and your advantage, because of that itself, must be protected. And that is a time you also have to do efficient work, right? So most of the students, what I've seen is, see 24th May as the target. That's actually wrong. That the real target is 31st March 2026. So by 31st March itself, your entire prelim syllabus must be completed once. And then with one revision, it should be completed. So if this happens, April may become powerful. You'll be able to do 3-4 rounds of revision. You'll be able to get that active recall of the topic, and full length test you can take as much as possible. And you'll go for elimination practices. Your confidence will be building. And if the syllabus is not completed by March, then April become a nightmare for you, right? So remember, prelims is not on 24th May. You need to take it as March 31st. That's your deadline. April, May, I'm only going to keep on revising, keep on taking the consolidated test. Right now, very important is that you need to build a personalized prelim strategy. Either sit with your mentor and do it, or sit with your colleague with whom you are very much comfortable. Do that. Again, prelims cannot be prepared with one size fits all approach. Different people have different strength and different weakness. So you must diagnose your weakness also. Now, when we talk about the weakness, it could be selection of source. But anyway, I have done enough videos so that you will be getting clarity on that. The reading method, recall your weaknesses, right? MCQ solving techniques, elimination techniques, and the silly mistakes that you make. You're answering for question number 9, but you just mark it in 10. So B is the answer for question number 9, which is very sure, and you know that, but you'll mark it in the 10th one. It's gone. By luck, if the 10th, if it is B, then you are saved. Otherwise, you're gone, right? And the time management issues, right? So these weaknesses require different solution, and that's why you have to sit with your mentor and solve that, discuss that, and try to come out of it. And if your source is weak, you can replace it with something better, or you can upgrade also. If your reading is weak, slower deep reading you can go for. If your recall is weak, active recall every week is something which you can do, right? If your MCQ solving is weak, then you have to solve it daily. Daily test is what something which is required. If you're making silly mistakes, then controlled test practices. In the exam environment, you keep taking tests, and if the time crisis is there for you, you need to do the time drills. So this is how you need to solve your problem. So without diagnosis, the preparation become random, and you should not do that if you're a serious aspirant. The other category that I've discussed, let them do, but you won't do, right? And the mindset that you must adopt. There are 5 rules. I want you to tattoo in your mind. You can see in my body here, I have tattoos. Here, I have tattoos. Here, but all these are Zia. But what you need to tattoo, not on your body, in your mind is, see, first one, elimination is the last resort, not the first. So don't think that with elimination, I'm going to crack it. Elimination, of course, give you around 20 mark, but the real knowledge, that give you 80 marks. So 80% is the real knowledge, 20% is the elimination, and elimination is the last resort. And relying on this elimination tricks, is gambling. That's not the way I want you to do it. So that should be printed in your mind and heart, okay? Then static syllabus matters more than the current affair. Everyone keep reading monthly magazines many times, many revision without touching the static. What is the point? So this current affairs is giving you the context. The theme is here. Context plus theme is very important, right? So this is very important. If your static is weak, nothing else can save you. This is the core. Third point, every subject equally matters. Sometimes you'll see they'll ask more from economy or science and tech. That doesn't mean that history or polity is weak. They keep shifting. So you need to give that equal importance, at least to those important areas like environment, science and technology, IR, art and architecture, history, geography, polity, mapping, right? So these are very important. And again, one more important point, there is no shortcut to reading. UPSC reward genuine reading and, punishes the shortcuts. So if you're reading means you need to have a complete understanding of that something which you have already read and covered. They need in-depth and clarity in the thoughts and understanding. And the structured preparation anyway is going to defeat the random preparation. So when you're like a random preparation, when you get sudden motivation, that gives more stress. But if you have the structured preparation, like the way we have discussed, see, this is a premium mentorship program that I do, and from that only we are giving this content free of cost in YouTube. So when you have a structured preparation, you have that confidence, and that will be reflected when you are reading, when you are revising, when you're taking the mock test, and when you are actually writing the exam also. So that structured preparation, the system is what we need that give you that confidence to crack this exam. Cool. Now, what should be your weekly prelims framework? This is a system that I strongly recommend. Daily, Monday to Saturday, minimum 25 to 50 MCQs every morning you should solve. 5 hours subject reading. You can split into 2 subjects also. And evening, you need to recall of the day's marks, right? And weekly, especially on Sunday, you take a full test. Come to our academy or get in touch with us online and take the test, right? We have the 38 test and then the 20 test exclusively for current affairs. So now that itself is around 60 test, and we don't have 60 weeks. Okay, so even if you take weekly 2 tests, you will not be able to complete our test alone. So at least one test, 100 questions, in 1 week. You need to look at 50 previous year questions, 50 new MCQs, and 1 active recall sessions. All these are what I'm looking at on weekly, right? On Sunday. So total questions per week will be 50 questions, 6 days, 300. One full question, 100, that's around 400. 50 PYQs and 50 new questions, so that comes around 500. So 400 to 500 questions a week you need to solve. This is what required from here onwards. So that's 4 times the effort you will need to actually clear the prelims. So in prelims, you need 100 question, means weekly you need to solve 400 to 500 questions. This is exactly what I want you to do. This is exactly what I want my mentees to do. So that's exactly what I'm sharing here also. Right. So if you do 400 questions per week for next 20 week, you become unstoppable, guys. Right? 8,000 questions. Nobody can stop you. Now, how are you going to use December for your mains consolidation? That's the important point, right? So your 2-3 hours for mains, maybe 4 hours, should go into like 3 activities. Most importantly, previous year questions. You rewrite the at least 3-4 previous year questions, right? 3-4-5-6. The strategy I've discussed before, and by the end of 6 months, how many PYQs you are going to cover? Everything we have covered: GS2, GS3, GS4, and then you consolidate your notes. Everything should be in one place. No scattered sources. For every topics, you should have that 1 page, understanding of that, the summary of that. And then optional, very important, complete your revision by December 31st. Complete your optional backlogs now, and after that, you're not going to get time. Write it, show it to your mentor, complete your revision, and do not postpone option for post prelims. Complete it now, one round, and then we can take it at that point of time. Even if it is your sociology, it's very easy, but still we can do that. And let me tell you one thing very clear, very straight. Your why your hard work already matters. See, this time most of the aspirants are not doing anything, most of them, right? 80 to 90% of them are not studying anything. These are random people, they'll come after February. 10%, out of which 1% only will qualify even the prelims. So 10% itself is huge. Most of the aspirants wasted the last 6 or 5 months. So if you are not in that, if you did not waste, that alone, as I told you, put you in an advantageous position. You are ahead of more than 80 to 90% of the people. So you faced no external pressure, no visibility of exam, no deadline anxiety. Still, you studied every day. And that discipline is rare. That's why I told you are in that, 80 to 90%. You are not in that 80 to 90%. You are ahead of that 80 to 90%. And you can be proud of that and you can be confident about that also. But now the pain of discipline must convert into the reward of result. That discipline alone won't matter, right? You need to get that reward, and that depends on the next 5 months. Whatever sacrifices, whatever effort that you have put in the last 5 months, if you need to get the reap the benefit, or if you need to eat the fruits of what the hard work you have done, this is the next 5 months that you need to focus more on, right? So what is the roadmap? December, as I told you, 60% prelims, 40% mains, consolidation, no new sources. If you're studying, let's say 10 hours, 6 hours for prelims and 4 hours for mains. And then in Jan, maybe 80% for prelims and 20% for mains. But even you can shift completely also full prelims mode and start following the monthly, daily plans that we have discussed already in the mentorship sessions. And in February, you increase the speed, 400 MCQ per week. By March, finish the entire syllabus for prelims. First complete revision of the prelims also, but to be done by March 31st. And then April, May, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rounds of revision as much as possible, full length test and the revision, reading of the solutions, active recall, and zero new content during this time, except the current affairs, right? So remember this, guys. Right now, you are leading 1-0 at halftime because 80 to 90% of them are not in this now, in this race. So you are leading. You are 1-0 if you're considering this as football. Halftime is over. Rest half. You should not allow them to score 2 and you won't score anything. Or you should not allow them to score 3 and you score 1. Even if both of you score equally, still it's fine. Let them score 1, you score 1, then it becomes 2-1, you will win. So your competitors now are sleeping. Your job is not to let them catch up. So they will run fast. You also have to run fast, but with structured preparation. So the discipline you show in this December Jan, that will decide whether you are going to clear the prelims 2026 with confidence. You have already done most difficult part, guys. This is a time that most of the people have wasted, but you have done that most difficult part. You have built that momentum without pressure and you are in the track. Now what you need, you have to protect that lead that you have, that head start that you got. You have to protect that, convert that into advantage. So stay consistent, stay structured, stay disciplined, and the result will follow. So that's about the session. If you're looking for any mentorship or classes or test series, get in touch with us. Our team will help you. See you there.